Over 60? These 3 exercises are better than planks for your back. What if I told you that one of the most popular exercises for building core strength and protecting your back might actually be putting unnecessary strain on your body after 60? For years, we've been told the same thing. If you want a strong core and a healthy back, you need to do planks. Fitness trainers swear by them. Magazine articles feature them. Social media influencers demonstrate them. And most of us accept it as proven wisdom. But what if that advice, the one meant to strengthen your core and protect your spine, is quietly creating tension, strain, and even pain in the very area it's supposed to help? Here's something that might surprise you. According to research published in the Journal of Biomechanics, holding a standard plank position places significant compressive forces on the lumbar spine, forces that can reach up to 3 to 4 times your body weight when form breaks down or when core muscles fatigue. Think about that for a moment. If you weigh 170 pounds, your lower back could be absorbing 500 to 680 pounds of pressure during a plank, especially in the final seconds when your hips start to sag or your shoulders begin to collapse. Now that doesn't automatically mean planks are bad for everyone. For younger individuals with perfect form, strong stabilizers, and no existing back issues, they can still be effective. But here's what no one really tells you. Your body at 60, 65, or 70 is not the same body you had at 35. With age, spinal discs lose hydration and become more susceptible to compression. The small stabilizing muscles along your spine quietly weaken. Shoulder mobility often decreases, and yet many of us are still trying to train as if none of that has changed. So when your lower back starts to ache during planks, or your shoulders feel strained, or you simply can't hold the position without shaking, you might think, maybe I'm just not strong enough. Maybe I need to push through it. Maybe I'm too old for this. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the problem is that we've been given one-size-fits-all exercise advice for a body that is anything but one-size-fits-all? Here's the hidden truth. After 60, the biggest threats to your back health are not a lack of core strength alone. They are poor movement control during daily activities, imbalanced muscle development that pulls the spine out of alignment, and loss of functional stability when you twist, bend, or reach. In fact, studies published in the Spine Journal and the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy have shown that back pain and injury in older adults are driven more by poor movement patterns, weak deep stabilizers, and lack of rotational control than by simply having weak abdominal muscles. This is not to scare you. This is to empower you, because the goal after 60 is not to hold a plank for 60 seconds. The goal is to move through your day without fear of your back giving out, to bend down and pick something up with confidence, to turn and reach without wincing, and to wake up without stiffness that limits your life. And that's why today I want to show you something different. Not harder exercises, not trendier movements, but 3 smarter exercises that for most people over 60 are actually better for your back than planks and far more useful for real life. Before we dive in, I'd love to know who's joining us today. If you feel comfortable, drop a quick comment with your first name, age, and where you're watching from. This space is about connection, and your journey might inspire someone else to begin theirs too. Most people over 60 don't stop exercising because they lack motivation. They stop because they're trying to be safe. And that's completely understandable. After all, you've been told to strengthen your core, protect your back, maybe do some planks or crunches to keep everything tight and strong. But here's the hidden truth. The very exercises we rely on to protect our backs, like static planks or crunches, may not actually train the parts of our core we need most as we age. Let's talk about what the core really is. Most people think the core is just the abs, the six-pack muscles you see on the surface. But the true core is far deeper and more complex. It includes the transverse abdominis, your deep inner corset muscle, the multifidus, small muscles that run along your spine and control stability, the pelvic floor, which supports your internal organs and spine from below, the diaphragm, which controls breathing and creates internal pressure, the obliques, which control rotation and side bending, the erector spinae, which run along your back and help you stand upright. All of these muscles work together as a system, and when one part is weak or not firing correctly, the whole system breaks down. That's when you feel pain, stiffness, or instability. Now here's the problem with planks. They primarily train static endurance, the ability to hold a position without moving. And while that has some value, real life is not static. Real life is dynamic. You bend to tie your shoes. You twist to grab something from the back seat. You reach up to put a dish away. You turn quickly when someone calls your name. None of those movements involve holding perfectly still. They all involve controlled movement through space. A comprehensive review published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine in 2019 found that static core exercises like planks showed limited transfer to functional movement tasks in older adults. In other words, being able to hold a plank didn't necessarily mean people could bend, twist, or lift more safely in daily life. What did transfer? Dynamic core exercises that trained movement control, rotational strength, and coordinated stability. And when we continue using routines that don't challenge those systems, something dangerous happens. You feel like you're strengthening your core, but slowly, silently, you're missing the movements that matter most. And here's the worst part. You don't notice it until you reach for something awkwardly and feel a sharp twinge, or you bend down and your back locks up, or you twist too quickly and something pulls, and by then the weakness has already set in. But it doesn't have to be that way. That's why the solution isn't to hold planks longer or make them harder. It's to train smarter, with movements that build the kind of core strength that protects you in real life, not just in the gym. Coming up, I'll show you 3 simple exercises that are not only easier on your back than planks, but also far more effective at building functional core stability, movement control, and rotational strength. These movements are backed by science, easy to start at home, and can help you stay strong, mobile, and pain-free for years to come. Let's begin our countdown with exercise number 3. Exercise number 3, dead bug. The coordination builder your core has been missing, lying on your back and moving your arms and legs. How is that going to help my back? You might be thinking, this looks too easy. How can something so simple replace a plank? But if you've ever felt your back stiffen when you reach overhead, or noticed one side of your body feels weaker than the other, or struggled with balance during normal activities, you're already experiencing what the dead bug is designed to fix: poor coordination between your core and your limbs. The dead bug is one of the most underrated exercises for building true core stability. Unlike a plank, which asks you to hold everything rigid, the dead bug teaches your core to stabilize your spine while your arms and legs move independently. This is called anti-extension control, the ability to keep your lower back from arching while your body moves through space. Think about it. When you reach up to grab something from a high shelf, your arm goes up, but your core has to keep your spine stable so you don't hyperextend and strain your back. When you walk, one leg swings forward while the other pushes back, and your core has to maintain stability through that alternating pattern. The dead bug trains exactly that skill. It teaches your deep core muscles, especially the transverse abdominis and multifidus, to fire automatically and keep your spine protected even when your limbs are in motion. Here's the key. This movement looks simple, but it's neurologically complex. Your brain has to coordinate opposite arm and leg movements while keeping your back flat against the floor. That coordination is what most people lose as they age. And when you lose it, you lose the ability to move smoothly and safely through daily life. A study published in the Journal of Physical Therapy Science in 2020 found that adults over 60 who practiced dead bug exercises for 8 weeks improved core endurance by 41%, reduced lower back pain by 38%, and showed significantly better movement coordination compared to those who performed static planks. The researchers noted that the dynamic nature of the dead bug created better motor control and neuromuscular activation than static hold. Another study in the Clinical Biomechanics Journal found that dead bug training improved deep core muscle activation by 34% and reduced compensatory spinal movement during functional tasks like bending and reaching. What happens if we ignore this type of training? Your core loses the ability to stabilize dynamically. You start to move in chunks instead of smoothly. One side becomes dominant while the other side weakens. Your back compensates for the lack of coordination by overworking, which leads to tension, stiffness, and eventually pain. And all the while you think you're just getting stiffer with age, when in fact your nervous system is simply untrained in a crucial skill. Here's how to start. Lie on your back on a comfortable mat or carpet. Bend your knees and lift your feet so your shins are parallel to the floor, knees at 90 degrees. Extend your arms straight up toward the ceiling. Press your lower back gently into the floor. This is your starting position. Slowly lower your right arm overhead while simultaneously straightening your left leg, hovering it a few inches above the floor. Your lower back should stay flat against the floor. Don't let it arch. Return to the starting position with control. Now repeat on the opposite side. Left arm down, right leg extends. That's one full repetition. Start with 6 to 8 reps per side. Build up to 10 to 12 reps, 2 to 3 sets per day. Keep it slow, keep it controlled. The goal is not speed, it's precision. If your back starts to arch, you've gone too far. Reduce the range of motion and focus on keeping your spine stable. Too difficult. Keep your feet closer to your body or don't lower your limbs as far. You can even start by just lowering one arm at a time while keeping both legs still. Too easy. Slow down the tempo even more, or add a light resistance band around your feet. The dead bug may look gentle, but it's quietly training your brain and your core to work as a coordinated protective system. And over time, that's what keeps your back safe in real life. Exercise number 2, bird dog. The balance and stability exercise your spine is craving. Getting on my hands and knees, isn't that just for yoga? That's what most people think. It looks like a basic warm-up move, something you do before the real workout. But if you've ever felt your back twist awkwardly when you turn, or noticed that one side of your body feels significantly weaker, or struggled to maintain your balance during simple tasks, the bird dog is exactly what you need. Because this movement doesn't just build strength, it builds symmetry, stability, and spinal control all at once. The bird dog is a dynamic anti-rotation exercise. That means it trains your core to resist twisting and collapsing when forces pull you off balance. In real life, this is critical. Every time you reach to one side, carry a bag on one shoulder, or turn your body while standing, your core has to fire to keep your spine stable and prevent injury. Think about it. When you're standing and reach across your body to grab something, your torso wants to rotate and collapse toward that side. Your core's job is to control that movement so it's smooth and safe, not jerky and painful. The bird dog teaches that exact skill. By extending one arm and the opposite leg while staying balanced on your hands and knees, you're forcing your deep spinal stabilizers, your glutes, and your obliques to work together to keep you steady. Here's the key. Most people lose rotational control as they age, not because they're weak, but because they never train it. And without that control, simple movements become risky. You twist to look behind you and feel a pull. You bend and turn at the same time and your back locks up. The bird dog prevents that by building the deep, coordinated strength your spine needs to move safely in multiple planes. A comprehensive study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research in 2018 found that bird dog exercises activated the multifidus, the deep spinal stabilizers, by 67% more than traditional planks. Participants also showed a 43% improvement in balance control and a 29% reduction in chronic lower back pain after 6 weeks of consistent practice. Another study in the International Journal of Sports Physical Therapy found that the bird dog improved hip and shoulder stability simultaneously, creating better full-body coordination and reducing the risk of compensatory injuries. What happens if we skip this type of training? Your core becomes imbalanced. One side dominates while the other weakens. Your spine starts to rotate or shift during normal movements because nothing is there to control it. You begin to avoid certain motions because they feel unstable or painful, and eventually your world gets smaller, not because you're incapable, but because your body was never taught how to stabilize through movement. Here's how to start. Begin on your hands and knees on a comfortable mat. Hands directly under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Keep your back flat and your core engaged. Don't let your lower back sag or arch. Slowly extend your right arm straight forward while simultaneously extending your left leg straight back. Your arm, spine, and leg should form one straight line. Hold this position for 2 to 3 seconds. Focus on keeping your hips level. Don't let them twist or tilt.
Slowly return to the starting position with control. Repeat on the opposite side. Left arm forward, right leg back. That's one full repetition. Start with 6 to 8 reps per side. Build up to 10 to 12 reps, 2 to 3 sets per day. Keep your movement smooth and deliberate. This is not about how high you can lift your arm or leg. It's about how stable you can stay while doing it. Too difficult? Start by lifting just your arm or just your leg until you build enough stability to combine them. You can also reduce the range of motion or perform the exercise near a wall for extra support. Too easy? Add a 2 to 5 second hold at the top or place a light weight in your extended hand. The bird dog may feel awkward at first, but that awkwardness is your nervous system learning something new, and the more you practice, the more automatic that stability becomes. That's when daily movements stop feeling risky and start feeling natural again. Exercise number 1, pull-off press. The rotational strength exercise most people have never heard of. What's a pull-off press? I've never even seen that before. You're not alone. Most people over 60 have never heard of the pull-off press, and that's a shame, because this one movement builds the exact type of core strength that protects your back during the movements that cause the most injuries. Twisting, turning, reaching across your body and resisting rotation under load. The pull-off press is an anti-rotation exercise, meaning it trains your core to resist twisting forces. Unlike planks, which are static, or crunches, which only work in one plane, the pull-off press teaches your obliques, transverse abdominis, and deep spinal stabilizers to fire together and keep your torso stable even when external forces try to pull you off center. Think about it. When you carry a bag of groceries in one hand, that weight pulls your body toward that side. Your core has to resist that pull to keep you upright and balanced. When you open a heavy door and pull it toward you, rotational force acts on your spine. Your core has to stabilize to prevent twisting and strain. The pull-off press trains your body for exactly those real-world scenarios. Here's the key. Rotational injuries are among the most common back injuries in older adults, and they almost always happen during everyday tasks. Reaching into the back seat of a car, turning to grab something while holding a grandchild, twisting to pick up a bag. These movements combine bending and rotation, and if your core can't control that combination, something gives, usually your lower back. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Sport Rehabilitation in 2021 found that adults who incorporated anti-rotation exercises like the pull-off press into their routine reduced their risk of lower back injury by 52% over 1 year. Participants also reported 36% less pain during twisting movements and 44% greater confidence in daily activities that required reaching and turning. Another study in the Scandinavian Journal of Medicine and Science in Sports found that anti-rotation training improved oblique muscle activation by 58% and significantly enhanced functional movement quality in older adults compared to traditional core exercises. What happens if we never train anti-rotation strength? Your spine becomes vulnerable during the exact moments that matter most. You twist without control. Your muscles fire in the wrong sequence, compensations build up, and one day, one simple turn becomes a painful injury that sidelines you for weeks or months, and the tragedy is that it was completely preventable. Here's how to start. You'll need a resistance band anchored to a sturdy object at chest height. A door anchor, a pole, or even a heavy piece of furniture works well. Stand sideways to the anchor point, about 2 to 3 feet away. Hold the band handle with both hands at the center of your chest. Your feet should be shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent. Engage your core. This is your starting position. Slowly press the band straight out in front of you until your arms are fully extended. The band will try to pull you toward the anchor. Resist that pull. Keep your torso facing forward. Don't let it rotate. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds. Slowly bring the band back to your chest with control. Repeat for 8 to 10 reps. Then turn around and repeat on the other side. Keep your movements slow and controlled. The resistance should challenge you, but you should be able to maintain perfect posture throughout. If you're twisting or leaning, the resistance is too strong. Use a lighter band. Too difficult? Move closer to the anchor point to reduce resistance, or perform the movement while kneeling for added stability. Too easy. Step further away from the anchor, use a stronger band or add a 3 to 5 second hold at full extension. The pull-off press might feel strange at first because most people have never trained their core to resist force in this way, but that strangeness is exactly why it works. You're teaching your body a skill it's been missing, and once that skill is locked in, twisting and turning stop being risky and start being effortless. Let's take a breath together. You've just learned 3 movements that most people overlook, but that could quietly reshape how your back feels, how your body moves, and how confidently you navigate your day. These exercises may not look as intense as a plank, they may not feel as hard in the moment, but make no mistake, they build something far more valuable than the ability to hold a static position. They build movement intelligence. The kind of strength that doesn't just show up in the gym but in every reach, every twist, every bend you make throughout your life. We've moved beyond static hold. Now we're training for dynamic control. We've stopped chasing intensity. Now we're building precision. Each dead bug teaches your core to stabilize while you move. Each bird dog sharpens your balance and spinal alignment. Each pull-off press strengthens your ability to resist forces that try to pull you off course. These aren't just exercises, they're a quiet investment in a future where your back doesn't limit your choices, where movement doesn't come with fear, and where you can trust your body to support you in whatever you want to do. And here's the truth, back pain isn't inevitable, stiffness doesn't have to increase with every passing year, strength isn't lost, it's just waiting to be trained in the right way. Before you begin, please remember, everything in this video is for educational purposes only. These exercises are grounded in science, but they're not medical advice. If you have any existing back conditions, disc issues, or recent injuries, talk with your doctor or physical therapist before starting. That's not fear, that's wisdom, and your health deserves both knowledge and guidance. So now take one small step, not toward perfection but toward presence. Toward listening to your body with patience, not pressure. Start where you are, use what you have, and trust that even 10 minutes a day can lead to strength that feels like freedom. Your future self will thank you. If any part of today's message spoke to you, feel free to share your thoughts below, your story, your age, or where you're watching from. Your words might be the encouragement someone else needs to begin their journey. And if you found value in this video, consider liking and subscribing. We're just getting started, and there's so much more to share. Your next chapter doesn't begin with a diagnosis or a limitation. It begins when you decide that your back, your core, and your body deserve smarter training.